Hi, it's Vishali here. I'm at Stamford Bridge where Antonio Conte has spoken to the press ahead of Chelsea's FA Cup semi-final game against Tottenham at Wembley tomorrow. Now there's good news and there is bad news for Chelsea fans. The good news is that Thibaut Courtois has recovered from an ankle injury and is likely to play in goal after missing the 2-0 loss to Manchester United at Old Trafford on Sunday with that injury that he sustained in a promotional shoot last week. The bad news is that Gary Cahill will not make Antonio Conte's matchday squad because he spent 2 days in hospital this week with an illness and he hasn't yet recovered. So what does that mean for Antonio Conte's backline? Well, Conte was asked whether or not he would start John Terry, who of course announced he will leave Chelsea at the end of the season, whether or not he will start him against Spurs. But all Conte would say is that, well, Luiz normally plays in the centre of his defence, and that's also where John Terry happens to play. So I think that means John Terry will not start tomorrow against Spurs, and what you'll see is that Kurt Zouma will play in a three-man defence alongside Cesar Azpilicueta and David Luiz. I think Gary Cahill's omission is going to be a loss, but I think the big boost for Chelsea ahead of this game is that Courtois is back. Now it's interesting how Chelsea and Spurs come into this game because of course Spurs have won their last 7 Premier League games in a row. Chelsea have had a bit of a patchy month. You know, of course they lost to Crystal Palace here at Stamford Bridge, and of course they lost to Manchester United on Sunday, a game in which they were very poor, I have to say, and it was a game that has blown open the Premier League title race. Conte doesn't think the outcome of the FA Cup semi-final will affect the Premier League title race. I think it could have a psychological impact on the Premier League title race, but it's going to be interesting nonetheless. I mean, it's been quite a fiery, it is a fiery rivalry anyway. Chelsea beat Tottenham narrowly here at Stamford Bridge earlier on in the season. Spurs beat Chelsea and ended their 13-game winning run in the reverse fixture in January. Pochettino thinks Spurs are underdogs in this game, but I think that all things considered, they're both coming into it on equal terms, I'd say, and it's definitely going to be a really interesting game. I'm going to be at the game. I'm going to be covering it for Standard Sport, and I'll be doing a video blog after the game, so be sure to check that out tomorrow.